Welcome to this webinar. I will do my best to stick to about 35 to 40 minutes of my presentation. So we do like to give you about 10 minutes for the Q&A, and hopefully, this will be informative for you, and also we'll be able to answer any of your questions. Okay. So we are going to talk about S4HANA. Maybe some of you have heard about it, are curious to know what it is, or some of you are trying to implement S4HANA. So both of you are welcome. And also I was checking with Sharath, the kind of participants we have today, the attendees. Looks like there's some leadership, also some management folks. So welcome to all of you. And once again, thanks for joining our time. So today, in fact, what I'll do is get out of the introductions very quick. Because we do want to get to the meat of it, which is, just talk about S4HANA. And here we are. I'll just take a few minutes to introduce my company and also myself. This is being hosted by SAP. We are SAP's Gold partner. And for those of you who know the partnership network, that's not very easy to get. So that means, there's a lot of hard work that's gone in. So we are called Blueprint Technologies. We have been founded in 2010, and we do Kronos, SAP solutions like SuccessFactors, S4HANA, Concur. These are some of the solutions we cater for. We also do business in not only India, but also in Middle East, and also some US presence as well. We did win a Pinnacle Award. In fact, we were the finalists for the Pinnacle Award in 2018. That's a global category. What SAP does is looks at all their partners' implementations globally and gives out these awards. We stood runner-up, which is again a great achievement for 2018. We also won a SAP ACE Award in May 2018 for one of our large SuccessFactors implementation, which is a 69-country rollout for VFS Global. So we, like I said, we're not only the global partner, we're also the co-innovation partner of SAP. So what does that mean is we are certified to build extensions. And I'll talk about in a bit why extensions plays a critical role in S4HANA. And we are authorized, and we have built some innovations already for SAP using S4HANA solutions. So we are about 150 plus employees. We have done 45 plus projects. We focus not only on the SAP ECC, but we are very, very proficient in delivering cloud solutions. We understand cloud, and also we've been pretty focused on S4HANA solutions for the last 3.5 years. We are in line with SAP's vision. SAP is very clear. For the last so many years, they've been known as ERP company, which is more focused on on-premise. Now they would like to be SAP Cloud company with S4HANA as its platform. And we are definitely in line with that. Over the last 5-6 years, we are already treading the cloud path and also the S4HANA path. So this is me. Kishore Gundala is the name. Got about 20 years of experience. Dealt with ERP for a very long time. HCM, CRM, and also cloud. S4HANA over the last 2.5 years. Has all been my focus areas. I will also played a role of SAP Cloud Evangelist for SAP India directly. I was their pre-sales coach, working with multiple partners and customers. I've also been speaker at various events hosted by SAP. And also, like I said, I've been an expert of solutions in S4HANA, Cloud, and SuccessFactors. Plenty of experience globally, working for some of the US clients and also Middle East and India. So that's a little bit about me, and let's jump into the topic of, what is S4HANA all about? Why should you be more interested in that topic at this point of the time, right? So one thing that's going on globally and also in India, from a solutions point, is there are a lot of transformation happening in business and also in the information technology, right? So this is the right time to join that running train. If you don't catch the train, it's going to be left. So you're going to miss the train. So a lot of transformation is happening. So let's quickly look at what I mean by that. So again, for some of you who are very familiar with SAP or any other ERP package, so we are used to the systems that have been bought, and we love to create complexity in that system or software, and we love to create custom solutions using any of the ERP software we buy, and we would like to make it our own. The business standpoint and the IT standpoint, things have changed so much over the last few years. One is the connectivity part. Everything is connected now. I would like to use my solutions wherever I am. I would like to use it on my smartphone. I would like to not be restricted to one browser, or maybe I don't want to be just sitting in my office and use my software. I would like to use it wherever I would like to. So that's the connectivity part, right? So the supercomputing, cybersecurity, cloud computing, smarter world with robotics, 3D printing, artificial intelligence, big data. I mean, I can throw all these words, right? But we're all very, very familiar with those words now because everybody is talking about it. You open your newspaper, you switch on TV, everybody is talking about this. There is big push of upskilling people into these new technologies and making sure any software that you buy has these elements into it, right? So what are some of the big things? One is it has to be cloud enabled. If not cloud enabled, it should be much more easier to use. It has to have a great user experience. It should be available on mobile. I should be able to get connected in a sense. I don't want to buy a software and start implementing it from scratch, but rather I would like to have some best practices inbuilt. So for example, if I'm a chemical industry, I would like to know what are the chemical industry best practices already available in the solution. So I don't have to go build everything from scratch. So a lot of the business-wise and IT-wise, a lot of transformation going on. And what are some of the digital changes that are happening, right? So 2 out of 3 human beings have a smartphone today. I mean, that's very, very normal nowadays to have a smartphone. 2.5 billion social network users, whether it's Facebook's, LinkedIn's, all these major social platforms have about 2.5 billion users. And then more than 25 billion connected objects. So the Internet of Things is connecting everything, right? So you're going to see that there will be more of these things or objects connected with each other and also with the software that we're going to use. And also some of these statistics, maybe, I'm not going to go through each one of these in interest of the time, but let's look at one of these. By 2020, 9 billion mobile users will be in the world. And I'm sure at least 40% of that would be in India, for sure. So 9 billion users will be using smartphone by 2020. 201 billion things will be connected using Internet of Things. So if there is a machine in my factory that needs a repair, it should automatically tell me using Internet of Things. So that's the kind of data, that's the kind of change in IT and business we're going to look at. And also, like I said, right, so this is all great news, but when we look at our systems today, what do? We have a lot of complexity built in. And if you ask some of these major CIOs, CEOs, when the survey was done, so this is what they said, that, hey, 86% of my business process is already complex. So I'm focused more on running my systems rather than getting the right data out of the system so I can run my business, right? And this is very common. So systems, again, need a lot of upgrades. Systems are slow. System UI is not really user-friendly. So a lot of these statements is what we hear today when you look at your current systems. So for example, 67% of executives believe complexity has harmed employee satisfaction. And also only 11% feel their organization is a top innovator in their sector, because you're so focused on running your day-to-day operations. Rather than what should we be doing as business people is to create innovations. using IT as an enabler, but we are more focused on running the systems. So that is, what is going on. And when you look at IT complexity, the databases we have, humongous databases, especially if you were using your system for the last 10 years, imagine the number of transactions, the amount of history that you already created. Maybe you have a transactional database today, and you have to extract data out of that transactional database into some sort of analysis database, so you can run your analytics separately, whereas your transactions is one database, right? So, and also the updating of aggregates, performance issues, batch processing. For example, when your system responsiveness is not that good, that is because a lot of complex processes have been inbuilt into your system, and also that's leading to batch processing rather than real-time operations, right? So if you have to go build, let's say your CEO asks you for a data element or a KPI, and then you have to go, okay, let me not give it to you now, but give me 2 days. Why? Because there's so much of data that you need to extract, build some metrics around it, and create a beautiful report that your boss wants. But whereas the batch processing is exactly what it is doing, whereas you should be focused on real-time data or reporting abilities coming out of your system. And then integration, right? Integration is obviously more complex. There's so many systems that your system talks to, so there's complex architectures of integrating the systems. So point being given is that there is too much complexity already inbuilt, especially with the way IT and business have evolved. Probably business has evolved a little ahead of IT, but IT is still stuck in the old systems of batch processing, complex integration, complexity built in. All right. So it's a time to revive innovation though, right? IT should be delivering on the needs of the business. We should not be, I'm also an IT guy. I've seen both worlds of corporate, right? I've been a business guy and also I've been an IT guy. So as an IT guy, I can't keep telling my business person that, hey, look, it's going to take 1 month, 2 months, or 3 months to do one single report. Maybe that's an exaggeration, but they could be, right? Depending on how complex the report is. So, and I should be giving that confidence back to my business, saying, let's go build business innovation, leave the IT to me, right? Or leave the IT to a software that's a little more intelligent and a little more robust than what we have today. All right. So that kind of talks about the complexities that we have both business and IT wise. So what has SAP been doing with their software? Over the last 40 plus years of their existence, they've been known as the ERP company. I think there's no doubt about that, hands-on or hands down, that SAP has been the #1 ERP software for the last 40 years, taking care of your sales and distribution, materials planning, production planning, human resources, all sorts of various functionalities of your company were totally integrated and also totally run under one platform, which was called SAP. Now, if you look at this, they established themselves in 1972, and they moved on to, that was kind of called R1. They moved on to 1979 with R2. 1992, they came up with R3. 2000 was another, I think the first time they went to the World Wide Web through internet rather than just using your software installed in a desktop or laptop. Then they moved on to SAP ECC, as we call it, Enterprise ECC Central Component. And in 2011, they came with SAP HANA. Now, HANA, for most of you, might only mean database. And I'm not saying everybody, but some of you might just think of it as a database. That is also true. So SAP has been running on various databases like Oracle or Microsoft SQL or Sybase, various databases. Now, SAP, what they have done is looking at so much of data that is being generated. They wanted to really create a robust database, and they called it HANA. And we'll talk about what are some of the HANA benefits. Now, HANA as a database was first step. Then on top of it, they also created an application suite. So they took their SAP software and rewrote that matching for HANA database. So now you have a beautiful application suite called S4HANA. And we'll talk about that in a second. What does it mean? What kind of functionalities it has? But if you look at SAP, so you see that they have 291,000 customers, and globalization-wise, 74% of the world's transaction revenue touches an SAP software system, right? So that's a huge number, and that's something for SAP to be very proud of, that they've been that kind of application for such a long time. Now, if you look at the S4HANA evolution, though, like I said, in 2011, they came with the HANA database. Then they moved their business warehouse on HANA database in 2012. They also got the SAP Business Suite on SAP S4HANA, SAP HANA. And then finally, they came with their first functionality rolled out in S4HANA called, it used to be called Simple Finance. It's not simple anymore. It's called S4HANA Finance, right? Finally, you have, since 2014, it's really picked up momentum and steam. You have now 2015, 2016. Now latest release is 2019, where it shows 1902. All it means is 2019 is the year. 02 February is the month they've released the new version of the software. So currently you have 1902 release, very stable. All sorts of innovations have already been added since 2015. There was a talk that probably 1610 release was a little more stable, but I must tell you 1902, 1810 have already proved that they're the best solutions out there now as far as ERP goes. Now, from being just a simple database in 2011, now you have an entire application suite that is built on the HANA database. Okay, so we have, like I said, right, the memory, the HANA database. So what does that HANA database really mean? Is various things. So one is the in-memory part of it. So in-memory would mean that you don't have to store a memory as a separate memory for you to go query against it, but the memory is already built into SAP HANA. Now, what is the benefit of that? The benefit is the faster performance, and also for us to look at the data in real time is what really the in-memory database would mean. And in the next slide, I'll also be talking about how the database size is decreased using the HANA database. We also have some of the new user experience with SAP Fiori. We also have various methods of deploying that, whether it's cloud or on-premise. So all that is kind of part of the S4HANA Suite, and we'll be looking at that in a second. In addition to the S4HANA, we also have SAP HANA Cloud Platform, which in fact what that does is it's going to give us ability to build any extensions using S4HANA. Now, S4HANA on-premise, you can customize that to some extent if you want to, but also there is a cloud platform that you could use to build extensions and also integrate with any of the other cloud applications or on-premise applications if you need to. So with SAP S4HANA and the SAP HANA Cloud Platform, you do get that robust solution that you can use for your company needs. And on the right, what you see is also the new Internet of Things, machine learning, artificial intelligence, that's also coming into S4HANA through something called SAP Leonardo. And I'm not going to talk about that today, but we will be talking about intelligent ERP and why do we call that intelligent? Because of artificial intelligence and machine learning. So overall, if you look at what are some of the major changes, you have the simpler data model. Rather than having thousands of tables to run finance, for example, as a solution in ERP. Now we only have like 10 to 15 tables that does all the functionality for you. Also, simpler data model would mean you not only do transactions in the database, but also you can do analytics in the same database. So you do not have to extract your transactions data to analytics database and run analytics there. Now I can have both in the same database because of the in-memory capability of HANA database. Modern user interface, we'll see that in a bit as well. Now they have something called Fiori. Fiori is the common user interface across all SAP solutions, and S4HANA also has Fiori. It's a very clean user experience where it's role-based. So if I'm a particular user, I'm only going to see what I'm supposed to see from a transactions perspective, rather than going through a long list of menu path and trying to figure out, which transaction I need to perform. Rather, I would like to only see what are my regular transactions that I have to do in S4HANA. Now that is provided to you through Fiori user experience. So some of the facts about S4HANA is, you have the smaller data footprint, and also it's about 1,800 times faster analytics reporting. There is something called guided config, which I'm not going to cover at this point, but it also helps you to configure the system. And also, like I said, you can create extensions using SAP HANA Cloud Platform. All data, whether it's pictures, graphs, text, and social data, all that can be stored in HANA database. You don't need to separate those kind of data elements. And also the Fiori user interface, whether it's mobile, desktop, or tablet, it's all there for you using S4HANA. And also the process steps have drastically reduced. For example, let's say you want to create a purchase order. Maybe it was taking 10 to 15 steps before. Now it only takes about 4 to 5 steps to create one purchase order. So a lot of improvements, not only from a database perspective, also from a process standpoint. Some of the other aspects of HANA platform is also you have, like I was saying, right, the in-memory and also columnar store. The data is stored in a columnar fashion, not in a row fashion. That's another topic, which I have to cover technically at some other point. But for today, just make sure that all it does for you is that it reduces the database size drastically for you, makes the query of the data very, very simpler and very fast. So that is some of the benefits of columnar storage. OLTP overlap together. That simply means your transaction and analytics are together. Compression, the database compression can happen, again, because of HANA database. There are a lot of redundancy that is removed, which also means that my advanced compression can happen using my database. And some of these other technical terms I'm going to skip for now, but all this means is now you have ability to use any of these languages to interact with the S4HANA platform. And also it provides you application services, database services, and also easier integration with most of the other applications. Here's an example of how the database is looking today. Why do we say that the database is much reduced using HANA database? So if you take a look at the traditional database, it's about, let's say, for example, for a medium-sized organization, it may be 593 gigabytes. And these are various tables that SAP used to have in their SAP earlier versions, multiple tables, multiple aggregates, multiple indexes. This is for finance, and this was for logistics. Now, in traditional database, if it was 593 gigabytes, using HANA database, it can be reduced to 118 gigabytes. Now, when I say just a HANA database, that means I'm using my older SAP version, but that is sitting on HANA database. Now, if I simply go to S4HANA, you see that most of the tables have been removed. Now you have only 4 major tables in finance and about 3 to 4 major tables in materials management. And the size of the database has gone to 42 gigabytes. So from 593, we've just gone to 42 gigabytes. So it's removed a lot of redundancy. It made the database size very small, making the performance faster, and also the need for the physical infrastructure on your location to be very limited, also helping you reduce your IT costs. Now, this is the complete suite of S4HANA. The way you read this is you have LOBs on top, the finance, the human resources, sourcing and procurement, manufacturing, supply chain. And you have S4HANA Enterprise Management as the digital core. And it comes with a lot of inbuilt functionality and processes that you can just implement and start using them from day one. You also have cloud solutions on top for each of the LOB. Like, for example, you have Ariba for procurement, SuccessFactors, which is another great cloud solution for HR. And also you have Hybris for some of the CRM functionalities and sales and service functionality. And it's available in 160 countries as of today, and 38 languages, and also 25 industry solutions have already inbuilt into S4HANA Suite, and more are going to be added as we make progress with the solution. Now that's the entire suite of S4HANA. Now there is another aspect of S4HANA, which is the intelligent ERP. So the intelligence comes from, so what you saw earlier is the core, the digital core of using various functionality or modules of businesses. Now there is also the intelligent aspects that comes in. So why do we call it intelligent? So let's say, for example, you are a user who creates a purchase order with a vendor on a regular basis. Now you want system to kind of do some predictive analysis for you and be able to provide you with better options of creating that purchase order. Now the system does that for you. Also, it has something called a digital assistant, like how you have Siri for Apple. You also have something called CoPilot for SAP. Now, CoPilot will be there as part of your application as you're using S4HANA, and it can interact with you through chat. And you could, for example, you would like to bring up a customer record and you've forgotten the customer name. You only remember the first two letters. And as soon as you type in, the intelligence within the system through CoPilot will prompt you with a bunch of customers with a similar name. And you can actually drill down from there and get to the right record. So a lot of these intelligence has been built in. And that is one of the reasons now you not only have the core functionality of ERP, but also you have the intelligent ERP, whether it's using the great UI that you have, the automation of some of the processes using machine learning, AI, and also the next generation process. So like I mentioned, right, there is a SAP Copilot that makes you take better decisions. And also there is predictive analytics built into the software. And also there is automating of processes by using machine learning. This is the 1809 version, which is released as of September of 2018. And these are some of the intelligent, this is not core functionality, but also this is the intelligent features that are already built in on top of the core functionality. So let me take one of these, for example. So you have various modules here: procurement, sales, supply chain, manufacturing, research and development. So all these are various modules inbuilt. Now you have all these that you see is an intelligent feature that's already inbuilt for you using S4HANA. Now this is the user experience that S4HANA proudly talks about. So this is called Fiori. You can see that it is available on your tablet, desktop, or your phone, and it is role-based, and it gives you instant access to any business insight. It's not only making you do transactions, but also it gives you insights into transactions. Let's say, for example, what is the attrition rate of my company? I can look at that as a Fiori KPI, drill down and figure out which department is losing people more than other departments, and actually take some actions based on that KPI. So Fiori is that, and also Fiori can give you can search across apps to get some of the immediate answers. You can also color code alerts, so it's easy for you. If it's dark red, it may mean something. If it's not, it's a lower red, it might mean something else, right? So all that color coding is possible. And this is, very clean layout, and I only see what I need to do rather than a long list of transactions, which I may do once in a month. Now I can also personalize and only keep my repetitive Fiori apps on the homepage. And then, the ones I don't do on a repeat basis, I could hide them and, pull them up whenever I need to. So the Fiori UI is very clean. Now here's an example of purchasing analytics. This is the Fiori Launchpad. And you see that, again, various analytics being shown here. Purchasing spend over the last 365 days has been 100%. There is one contract that is going to expire in 120 days. Now, right from here, I can click into that and just go to that right contract and, take some action based on that. Okay. So I'm going to speed up a little bit here because, we're running a little close to the time, and I would like to also take some Q&A. So that's all great, right? Business is changing, IT is changing. S4HANA has come up with this beautiful solution, which has the core ERP already inbuilt with so many languages, so many industry best practices. And also it has this beautiful database called HANA, which makes things much, much more faster, reducing the need for, less infrastructure. So you can have, what you need to store that kind of data. And also it's got this beautiful Fiori UI. And now, how do I deploy it? Right? So for example, I may be a customer who never used SAP, or maybe I'm a customer who already has SAP and I don't know how to get to S4HANA. So there are three ways of getting there, and I will only focus on these two because those are more relevant. Greenfield is, brand new implementation, right? So you never had SAP before, or maybe you had SAP, but it's so complex that you would like to get rid of it and implement S4HANA from scratch. That's a great option. S4HANA will give you that opportunity to do that. Or you already invested enough on your SAP system and you would like to at least carry over your customization to S4HANA. So that path is called brownfield. And we do conversion from SAP to S4HANA. And then after that, during that process also, we'll fix the ABAP code, programming, and also some of the functional features. We call it simplification items. So all that needs to be mapped into S4HANA. Then finally the system is ready for you to use. So landscape is nothing but, you have multiple instances, larger landscape. You could do probably both. You could do, on-premise and a cloud. So S4HANA also comes with two primary flavors for you. One is the public cloud version. So this is ERP and cloud. Again, some of you are familiar with SAP. We have Ariba for procurement on cloud, SuccessFactors, which is HR on cloud. Now you have the entire ERP on cloud. So if you would like to go cloud version, yes, absolutely, that is possible. And if you would like to go on-premise, that is also possible. Now these two options are available. Or if you would like to host your cloud version on a single tenant on a private cloud, that is also available for you. But primarily you look at public cloud and a on-premise version of S4HANA. All right. So, and again, there's so much to talk. I'm so sorry, I'm not able to spend time detailing out each of these, but we would love to talk to you if you want more information. But I'm trying to do my best to at least give you some information that you can take home with you today. All right. So public cloud and on-premise are the two options. And let me see. Okay. And if you do decide to do conversion, we do various things here. Like I said, we do the custom code conversion, simplification. Even before you move to S4HANA, we may do something called Readiness Assessment, just to see where you are and what kind of modules you can take in S4HANA. Is the cloud right path for you or on-premise right path for you? Which modules maybe you should implement first? All that kind of study is something we do. We also recommend Fiori applications that you may have to use. So all that is part of the readiness assessment. If you do decide to do SAP conversion to S4HANA, if you do greenfield, of course, that's a different path, and we can also talk about that. Now, very quickly, in fact, I'm going to skip this slide because of time constraint. Now, we do recommend as blueprint technologies, and we are proficient in both. We can handle both on-premise deployments and also cloud deployments. But of course, SAP has been pushing cloud a lot. The reason being, if you're on-premise, you get one update per year. The entire yearly updates are given to you once in a year. Whereas if you go to the cloud version, you get quarterly updates. So every quarter, some new changes are given to you, and you get these innovations on a regular basis. And also, what is SAP doing with the cloud version and also with S4HANA is it's taking all these feedback from multiple companies, multiple users of the application, and they're making their product better every quarter. So every quarter, you're going to get new cloud features coming in. But if you're on-premise, you get all that combined and given to you once in a year. So that's one of the major differences I see. And also, SAP kind of recommends everybody to go to cloud. Like I said, it depends on your business need, and you may need some help to arrive at that particular solution or decision. As of 1809 version, again, SAP has introduced a lot of these improvements in custom code remediation, data migrations, and also how to execute your project with lower project cost. All that is improved and enhanced with 1809 version. One of the key methodologies of implementing any of the S4HANA project, whether it's cloud or on-premise, is called Activate. And we are very proficient with Activate methodology. It's an agile methodology. Basically, you have 4 phases. We begin with show and tell. We show you a lot of S4HANA functionality out of box and kind of look at your process and make the tweaks where we can. And one of the unique things with the agile methodology is there will be 3 iterations of testing and development. So we finish the design with you. We sign off on all the list of scope items that we're going to put in the S4HANA product. We go develop. We show it to you. We take your feedback. We develop again. We show it to you. So we do that 3 times before we hand off the application to you for testing. So it kind of helps you to catch any of these issues beforehand rather than wait till UAT phase. So, and also there are various other benefits of Activate, and that would be another, separate sessions on Activate. Trust me on that. You have to spend at least half a day to 1 day, just to understand how Activate works and why is it one of the best methodologies to implement the software projects. Okay, so we are almost at the end. So that's all great, right? Great S4HANA application, various features available, various methods of deployment available to you. And also it has great methodologies to implement S4HANA. So what is the momentum looking like? What is everybody doing in the globe? So as of September 2018, there are about 8,900 plus licensed customers. That means companies that have bought the license. 2,100 have already gone live. 4,200 plus projects have been deployed, and 25 industry solutions, 160 country available. The solution is available, which means the localization of that country is available in the product. 38 languages also is rolled out for S4HANA. And these are some of the industries that have adopted S4HANA, right from consumer goods to professional services to chemicals, life sciences. So various industries have adopted S4HANA at this point. These are some of the global customers that are already getting some benefit of S4HANA. There is an IT benefit and also, of course, the business benefit. For example, Walmart saw 50% of reduction in their hardware cost. So obviously, Walmart chose to have S4HANA on-premise, not the cloud version. Again, because they're such a complex and big organization, cloud may not make sense to them. But if you're a mid-sized organization who believes in best practices, who wants to get the solution up and running very quick, cloud may be the best option for you. So 50% reduction in hardware cost. And also this company called ACM, they saw 30% reduction in inventory levels using S4HANA. That's the business impact. So given that, right, the momentum is happening, everybody is jumping onto S4HANA. So what are the next steps you can take? Like I said, first is probably you need to, get educated a little more, right? If I'm a customer, that's what I would do. I would engage somebody to show me some demos of the product, have a little more deep dive of the product, understand what it means, make sure also catalog all my processes. That's what I would do. If I would like to buy a car, I would like to list down all the features of the car that I'm interested in, right? So similarly, if I'm going to go buy a ERP software, you would like to list down all the key features of each of the functionality, like finance, procurement, make the top 10 list, and then start shopping. So if S4HANA is something I'm going to look at, I'm going to compare my process list against what is available out of box in S4HANA and make sure what I want as an organization is available in the product. So first thing I would like to do is, understand what the product is all about. Then, figure out what my path is going to look like. Am I going to look at cloud or on-premise? Am I going to look at brownfield or greenfield implementation? Should I go with finance first? Or maybe should I only roll it out for this particular country and maybe do the other country later? All that kind of discussion is something, needs to happen. And we as Blueprint Technologies and SAP, we would love to interact with you and help you in that path. And also, these are 3 free tools available for you as well. If you have some internal teams that are proficient with SAP, definitely these are some of the free tools available. For example, Transformation Navigator helps you to recommend what are the right products in S4HANA, will match your business needs. There is also something called business add-in check-in. For example, maybe you have a particular industry solution and you'd like to figure out if SAP has that or not. Or maybe you have another business add-in, you'd like to know if that is compatible with S4HANA or not. So all that kind of check-ins can happen. And from a journey standpoint, like I said, if you're already a SAP customer, you have to choose the conversion path, which means you would use the readiness assessment. So that's pretty much I had. I'm so sorry if I spoke faster because I had to, stick to my 35 minutes of time. And like I said, we are a global company. We are mainly in Middle East, Bangalore, Chennai. Also, we are doing some business also in United States. So we are definitely a global company, a gold partner of SAP. And we'd love to engage with you if you have any more questions and meet up with you in person.